Hey guys, Big Red 310 is back again. Quick vid because this has really been pissing me off, and I'm gonna anger a lot of people with this video, and I'll say why. After the Ultimate X match, the main person that I was afraid of was De Niro. He had a family emergency. That shit's serious. Seriously, man. He could have had, I don't know what his situation is. Maybe it's been revealed. I don't know. But a family emergency is a family emergency. That's some bad stuff. That's who I was scared for after watching the match. And everyone's going on here saying, oh, fuck TNA. Moral Virus, the man who has not made a video since Bound for Glory of last year. A good 1 year of not making any videos. Made a video completely saying, fuck you TNA, I give up on you because you're too much of an unsafe workplace. Time out. Did we ever think that just maybe, and I'm going to say it, Russo's not to blame. Daniels took the spot. He thought he was going to die. He didn't have to take the spot. Get fired. Lose your push. All that's fine and dandy. You're still alive. If he really thought this spot is going to be so dangerous, I could die, you know what? I just can't do it. Because what good is getting your push? What good is having a job if you're dead? I really don't see the logic in that. If he really wanted to, he could have said, yeah, this spot is dangerous. I'm not going to do it. Vince, let me do another spot, something that'll flash their eyes. He took the spot. He is to blame. You all are saying, Vince pressured him. Ferrara pressured him, I heard someone say. Management is forcing it down his throat. Daniels has been with TNA since 2002. I'm pretty sure if he asked Dixie, you know what, this spot could possibly kill me, I don't want to do it, I'm pretty sure she would have said no. And if she didn't say no, then he could have just said, fuck you, I'm not going to die. I don't know what's so hard about doing this. And then you all are saying, in my opinion, this is my opinion, if Ring of Honor did this, if WWE, that's a close one. If Chikara did this, if PWG did this, everyone would shut the fuck up. But because TNA, because it had to be TNA, because TNA did it, the booking sucks. This is exactly why Russo is a horrible human being. Fuck TNA. I give up on TNA. It's also a side excuse as to not say that match was awesome and TNA did good. Because the majority of the people, besides Trusler, but almost everyone else who said this match is unsafe, yada, 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 they thought the pay-per-view sucked. Look at Moral Virus, look at ECW Hardcore 07, look at C-Dude, all those guys, and more. There's definitely more. Who saw the spot, thought, you know what, I was too scared for their lives, because they realized they can make an excuse all they want for the rest of the pay-per-view. Literally, for every single match. I've seen everything I can understand. The only thing that's kind of like universally recognized as that pay-per-view as being a very good match is Angle Morgan. And even they still say, it's too short. They try to have a long match and a short match time frame. The wrong guy went over, stuff like that. But they knew we can't make an excuse about the Ultimate X match. We can call it a spot fest all we want, but TNA's been doing this for months. So of course they're going to say, they're too unsafe. They're too harsh. Maybe they're not doing this consciously. Maybe they're doing this subconsciously. When they're thinking of all these ways because they can't possibly give TNA some credit. I respect Trusler, he did bash the unsafeness and everything, and even he said Daniels did the dumbest move ever. Everyone else is saying Russo, TNA, and he still rated the match 4 stars. Really? Why do people tend to go out of their way to not give TNA a thumbs up? You guys think I'm this biggest TNA hater. I'm not. I'm really not. The 2 best mainstream pay-per-views this year were from TNA, in my opinion. besides the Dragon Gate pay-per-view, but like I said, mainstream. And hey, I'll go on to say that both those TNA pay-per-views were better than Take No Prisoners. But the thing is, these guys will never give TNA credit. I don't know if it's because they despise Russo or they've grown this hatred to TNA, but I've seen these guys never give TNA any credit. Zero. In the past year, zero. Truster does it, I gotta respect him for that. But like, all these other guys always trying to find a way to why TNA did bad. Even the King of the Mountain match, they'll say the main event sucked, and which I don't agree with. I think the main event is 4 stars, but I've heard people say that it sucked. People that are not, part of the Skype talkers or part of this, everyone else, all the TNA haters out there, like regular people who can support TNA. I've heard them say that the main event sucked. But the opening match, yes, it made no sense. And again, this is probably why I liked the opening match at Bound for Glory. It was a spot fest. It was a fun spot fest. That's why I enjoyed it. And it had chain wrestling in that match. And did it make sense? No, not really. You didn't really have the guys. The whole feud was about Suicide's mask, and they never went to try to take it off. Yeah, I guess it made no sense. But to say the match sucked because of it? Bullshit! You can say, I'm only going to give it like 3 1/4, 3.5, because it made no sense. But to say that it sucked? Like, really? Every single TNA hater. This is not just, all the Skype talkers, all the people on YouTube, all the people in our vocal wrestling community. There's people on the forums, there's people everywhere who say that because of that, they would say the match sucked. And when I asked them, what's the best pay-per-view this year? They'll always, they'll think in their mind. They will throw as many pay-per-views as they can without saying Slammiversary, without saying Bound for Glory. People on my channel do this. People who I talk to on Skype do this. And really, it is starting to bother me. If you've grown such an aversion, and they've even grown such an aversion to TNA, that they give WWE extra props when they don't need it. All these people that I'm talking about, like the people who I talk to on Skype, people who comment on my channel, all those people who hate TNA, I have never heard them once, not once, bash a WWE pay-per-view. I've heard them give more than enough props to certain WWE matches and certain WWE pay-per-views because if they can't stand to admit, shit, if we admit that WWE sucked this month, that means TNA wins. Almost everyone I know does that. Only a select few who know. Survivor Series 07. Probably the biggest TNA hater on here. Nah, that's kind of me. Probably not anymore, actually. One of the biggest TNA haters on here. He can recognize more than some of the smartest people on YouTube. More than the people who I get into comment wars with. All those people, he can even admit when TNA does good. And I really think that we are all going crazy about this Daniels thing because we want to reason TNA. I guarantee it. If Ring of Honor did it, I guarantee no problems would happen with it. I guarantee guys would say, oh, awesome spot. Really, calm down about the X Division match with Daniels. Stop trying to look for a reason to pick on TNA. TNA put on a great match. Notice, I haven't seen one person give that match a bad rating. 3.5 through 4.5 is kind of the dimensions. And everyone else who disagrees with it, they just give it NR. They don't want to give it 2 stars because of the spot. They can't do that because they know they can't. So what do? They just write not rated. No spot fest, injury, I'm just going to write not rated because I can't give it star ratings because they know it's not true. Really, guys. Almost everyone does this. Everyone. Maybe it's because I've seen 25 Bound for Glory reviews. Shit, man. I've seen a lot. And more than half of them have given that match NR. And I'm just like, what? And like I said, Moral Virus made an entire video bashing TNA because of that. That's all I gotta say. Do I have faith in TNA? At the moment, I think they're doing a very good job, especially after reading the spoilers. Turning Point looks spectacular. Joe Styles, and Daniels in the main event. I don't think we're going to get a 5-star classic, but I think we're going to get a 4-star classic. Just maybe a 4 flat or 3 3/4. Easy. Angle Nigel. I'll get to that in a minute. Most likely, at least C-Dude told me this, Kim Couture, Victoria, and no one knows who are the current tag champions at TNA, because some reports are saying that the British Invasion won. And no, all the reports are saying that Beer Money got disqualified. British Invasion got disqualified in the cage. And half the reports are saying British Invasion are still champions, and half the reports are saying Beer Money are the tag champs. On the Observer's website, it has Beer Money versus the Guns, who fought in an Ultimate X match to win the title, to win the number one contendership at Turning Point, which is basically a 1-year rematch. I like the pay-per-view. And Impact, the way it started off with Angle saying the Mafia's gone, basically saying the Mafia's done, and then saying the young guys, maybe they deserve this push, maybe they deserve the spot they're getting. I was in heaven as soon as I read that. That is exactly what I've been preaching for 9 fucking months on YouTube. And I have some faith in TNA, Nigel on TNA. I like it, actually, for the most part. I know people don't like that he's getting pushed off the bat. I think it's a good sign, but not necessarily a great sign. I'm Big Red 310. I'm out, guys.